Hello everyone, Namaste. A warm welcome to Econ with Uday. I am Uday Mullapati and this is the beginning of something special. Our UGC Net Economics Complete course. Today is the lecture 1 of Module 1, Foundation of Economics. And here we are starting the most basic but most important question. What is economics? So, I know that some of you might be thinking, Uday, economics is boring, right? And economics is all about money and graphs. So many people would be thinking like this. But trust me, by the end of this 20 minutes lecture, you will be see economics in a complete new light. You will be realize that economics is not just a subject, it's a way of understanding life itself. So grab your notebooks and get comfortable and let's begin the amazing journey together. Let's start with a simple question. What comes to your mind when you hear the word economics? Money, stock market, boring graphs, big banks, government policies? Well, it is a surprise for you. Economics is not just about money. In fact, it's not about something much bigger. It's about life itself. So, let me give you real definition. Economics is the study of life, of how people make choice. And every single day you make hundreds of decisions. What to eat before breakfast and what to wear. Should I study or scroll through Instagram, or should I save money or buy the new phone? This is the most questions that we have every day's life. And why do we have to make this choice? Because you can't have everything you want. And think about it. Have you ever wanted a new phone? Think about it. And a new laptop, new shoes, and trip to Goa. Many people want to go to Goa with friends. So, do you want to go Goa with your friends? But you have a limited money. You have to choose, right? So that's economics. Here, the biggest idea is that we humans have unlimited wants. You want a better house, a fastest car, a nice vacation, more expensive clothes. The list is endless. But our resources, money, time, energy, land are limited. There's only so much to go around. This gap, the gap between unlimited wants and limited resources, is called scarcity. And economics is the study of how we deal with the problem. So next time someone asks you what is economics means, don't say about money. Say it's the study of how we handle scarcity and make choice. So in this video, and I'm going to tell you something like fun fact about the economics is there are famous joke. An economist and a non-economist are walking down the street, and one non-economist says look there, a 500 note on the ground, and the economist says that's impossible if it was real. Someone would have picked it already. That's an economist issue for you. Always assuming people act rationally. So remember, economics is equals to choice plus scarcity. Got it? Great. Now let's talk about economist. When you heard about the word economist, what imagine that comes to your mind? A person in a suit standing at spreadsheet, someone who speaks in complicated jargon, or someone who uses big words to confuse everyone. Well, that's not everything wrong. I mean, we do love our jargon, but let me give you a better definition. Here, economics studies how people, business, and government make choices, and he analyzes. They look at data that analyzes patterns. They predict what going to happen, and they suggest solutions to problems like inflation, unemployment, and poverty. And think an economist as a doctor for the economy when the economy is sick. Pieces are rising, people are losing jobs, business are closing. Economists diagnoses the problem and precise medicines. Example, I am giving the example. Think about RBI governor. When he adjusts interest rates, He makes a decision that affects the million people. He looks at data, analyzes trends, and decides should we increase rates or lower them. So this is the what the government does, and that's what an economist does. But here the secret is: are you ready for this? Every single one of you is already an economist. Let's know how. That's right. Everyone you budget, you pick the money. Every time you decide whether to save or spend. Every time you compare prices at grocery store, you are doing economist. You are making the choice based on limited resources. You are dealing with scarcity. You need a PhD. You don't need a PhD to be a economist. You just need to make a decision and you that everyday single life. And here's the fact that the first known economist was a great philosopher named Aristotle. He lived around 350 BC. That's over 2300 years ago from now. And what do we have to write about it? Like managing household and dealing with scarcity. Same problem was faced today. So economics has been around thousands of years. It's not new. It's a fundamental to human existence. Now that we know what economics is and what economics are, let's look at where the world actually comes from. And here, where did the word economics come from? Alright, let's get a little nerdy. But I promise it's interesting. Where does the word economics actually come from? Here you can see where does the actually words come from. It comes from two Greek words. Okios means house, nomos means management, which means put them together. Okinomia means management of household. And that's exactly what it means. In ancient Greece, how to manage household, how to allocate resources, how to save, how to spend, how to plan for future. Think about it. If you have even managed your pocket money, you've been doing economics. If you have even decided how to split your salary between food, savings and your economist and make it bigger. And the only difference in that day today, we do it for entire nations, not just household. Here I'm execute the example of the real world example. When the India government prepares the union budget, what are they really doing? They are doing household management for the whole country. Here you can observe they are deciding how much money should we collect in taxes, how much should we spend on roads, schools, hospital and defense. That's just large scale household management. And here is a joke for you. An economist is someone who will tell you 100 ways to manage your money but still can't figure it out. How to balance their own checkbook. So remember, economics start as a household management and it's still about management, just on a bigger scale. And now let's look at what economists actually do all the day. So next, get into the another slide for this one. And here, economics in everyday life. Now let's make the real. Let's look at the economics in your everyday life. Situation. Tomato prices got up to 200 per kg. 200 rupees per kg. You are shocked. But you still buy it because you need it. That's supply and demand. When supply is low because rain or crop damage, prices go up. It is a common situation. So it doesn't require economics or studying economics. It's a common sense thing. So here you can see and price go up. In situation 2, I'm taking another situation here. You get your monthly pocket money and you decide to save 500 instead of spending it. That's the saving and investment. You are deferring current consumption for future needs. And in situation 3, you can see the government announces a new highway between Delhi and Mumbai. This is public expenditure. The government spending money on infrastructure to boost economy. And on situation 4, you can see the RBI changes interest rates and the RBI governance announced the interest rates and being cut. That's the monetary policy. It affects your loans, your savings and your EMI payments. And in situation 5, you have 20,000 rupees. You can buy a new phone or go to your trip. or you can choose it. The phone is your opportunity cost. What you give up, get what you wanted. And see, you are surrounded by economics. You don't have to open a textbook to find it. Just look at your everyday life. Let me tell you my personal story. One of my personal story. When I was a student, I used to buy chai, a cup of tea from the street vendor near my college. One day, the vendor raised the prices from 10 rupees to 15 rupees. Due to because of the price of milk and sugar had gone up, he had to increase the price to stay in business because he don't have other choices. And that's the economics in action. And here's the fun fact. In India is the largest producer of milk in the world, over 220 million in tons every year. But despite the milk, prices still rise. Why? Because demand is growing even faster. More people are income, more demand. That's the economic of supply and demand. And a student asked his professor, "Sir, why is everything so expensive?" The professor smiled and said, "Because people still buy everything at the price." So economics is everywhere, from the chai vendor to RBI government. You just need to train eyes to see it. And for further, we need to go. Let's go to the other slide. Now, let's quickly meet some famous economists whose work you have studied in the course. Adam Smith, who is a well-known economist, and he is said as the father of the economics. And in 1776, he wrote The Wealth of Nations. He believed that if everyone pursues their own interest and individual hand, guides them to benefit society. Like when a baker bakes bread to make money, but also feeds the whole neighborhood. Karl Marx, he looked at capitalism and said, "Hold on, this is not fair." He believed the system exploits workers. His ideas inspired revolutions and changed the world. J.M. Keynes, who is well-known economist, is mostly known, who is John Maynard Keynes, the man who said government should intervene during the economic crisis. So, should intervene during economic crisis? Yeah, during the Great Depression, he argued that the government spending could save the economy. These ideas are still followed today. And next well-known economist is Amartya Sen, our very own Indian Nobel laureate. He studied poverty and famine. He argued that famine happens not just because of food shortage, but because of people don't have the power to buy food. His work has saved millions of lives. And another economist is Raghuram Rajan, another Indian economist who was the RBI governor. He was one of the few who predict the 2008 financial crisis. He studied banking, financial stability, and economic development. Here you have the fun fact that Adam Smith wasn't just an economist, he was also a moral philosopher. He wrote a book called The Theory of Moral Sentiments about ethics and human goodness. So he wasn't cold-hearted. He cared deeply about the society. We all study the economist in detail in lateral lectures. But for now, just remember their names. They have shaped the world we live in today. And next, before we wrap up, I want just you to understand something really important. Student, studying economics is not about clearing UGC or getting a degree. It's about understanding the world around you. It's about knowing why prices rise, why some countries are rich and others are poor, why government makes the decisions they do. When you understand economics, you become a better citizen. You make better decisions with your money. Your choice become better. Careers. You are less likely to be fooled by politicians making empty promises. And here, the best part, you are already an economist. Every time your budget, your money, everything, you choose between you two options. Every time you decide to save or spend, you are doing economist. So don't think economics as something difficult or boring. Think of it as something that's already a part of your life. My job is just to help you to see more clearly. And I promise by the end of this course, you will be able to explain economics to your friend and family, and they will think you are really smart. So let's start this journey together. It's going to be amazing. I promise. Alright, let's quickly recap what we are learning today. It is just a quick recap that what we have studied here. Economics, which is the study of choice under scarcity. And scarcity means unlimited ones plus limited resources. And here we have studied about the economist, someone who studies and solves economic problems. And economics economics means management of household. It is a Greek word, means which is origin of the Greek. And we have economists analyze, predict, advise, solve and teach. And so congratulations, you have completed the first lecture. And you are no longer an economics student. You are an economist in training. Give yourself a pat on the back. In our next lecture, we will dive into the nature scope of economics, where we all dig deeper into what economics is really about. Thank you so much for watching this first lecture. I hope you found it helpful, engaging, maybe even a little bit fun. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe and share Econ with Uday with your friends who are also preparing for UGC NET. Hit the bell icon so you can never miss an update from my channel. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you found most interesting or ask me any question you have. I read every comment and try to respond as much as my possible. Our next lecture is on nature scope of economics. We will deep dig with what economics is really about. Until then, keep learning, keep questioning. Remember, economics is all around you. This is Uday from Econ with Uday, signing off. See you in the next lecture. Take care. Bye bye.